Tony, welcome home.
Well, thanks very much. It's been a bit of a whirlwind week for me, really. I think people always say to me, "Oh, you'll be back at the Boro one day," and I always thought, realising I've been a manager for 6 years or something like that now, I think, and it's all about timing, really. Jobs. Are you out to work when there's a job available, if it's the job that you would like, and vice versa. And there was something in me, I thought that might never ever come along, because I always hope that Middlesbrough is always successful, of course, and winning cups and getting the cup finals and doing well in the Premier League, and that the opportunity might never come. But and if it did come, I would have to be pretty successful somewhere else to get a job of that stature. But the moment, it's the circumstances have dictated that here I am. I think there's a job to be done in front of us. It's, from the starting position is one that we would wish the club not to be in, and yet it's a starting point, and we have to push on from here and improve our league position, win some football matches, try and get the supporters of this great club back in the stadium and supporting the team, and hopefully together you get a positive movement in the right direction.
It's a job which you thought may never come, but may I suggest a job you've always wanted to come?
I think so. I think I was at Mr. Gibson this week, really. I used to stand on the Aldgate with my dad, and there was a story of him taking me out of school to watch Manchester United during the coal strikes in the 70s there, and it's always my club. It's always the club I watched the first result wherever I've been, and I've been away for, when did I leave? I left in '91, so I've been away nearly 20 years. It's there is still always the first result, and obviously there's been some good times and some not so good times in that 20-year period. Some brilliant times, obviously getting to cup finals. I was there in Cardiff, Millennium Stadium, winning the Carling Cup. I was also in Eindhoven, not such a good day, but an amazing achievement for the club to go on that fantastic run. And so highs and lows, obviously, and being there with every Boro fan all the way through it, and here I am now going to try and have a positive influence on the team, and hopefully some good times ahead.
Many people will look back to 1986 as the time when your time with Boro really started, but it goes back a few years before then, doesn't it?
It does. A debut at Newcastle United at St James's Park against Kevin Keegan and Mickey Shannon in a 1-1 draw. Darren Wood scored the goal, and it was Paul Ward made his debut that night as well, I think. And but the first few years was a struggle, to be fair. And I know football was a hard job, and from '83 to '86. It was. I'm not sure where the league positions were, but it felt as if we were perennial, just missing relegation from the second division every year, and it was hard slog. And that obviously changed '86 after ultimately the club did get relegated. And you don't need me to run through it all again, but the gates locked, etc. And Bruce came and give the team a lift, a team that was put together by necessity, really, of finance, and but did extremely well. And I know a lot of people still think of that, the spirit of '86, '87, '88, right through the leagues, and all those players still keep in touch and are still good pals because of the affinity that was created throughout that time.
You were part of that. You were the captain of that side that pulled everybody through. People are looking for you to recreate that atmosphere now. Can you see parallels between, let's go back to 1985 and 2010?
There's some huge differences, but there's some similarities. Again, I don't think it's for me to elaborate on the current position where we are, but there's a huge difference from. You've got to remember the club has been in the Premier League for 12 years on the bounce, I think it was, and the riches that go with that, and fortunately we're now in the Championship, and we have to work extremely hard to try and get back where the supporters of the club want to be, and where we all want to be, really. Managers want to manage in the Premier League, players want to play in the Premier League, and supporters want to see the best teams, want to see the Boro playing against them and trying to beat the best teams. So there's a journey ahead of us. Hopefully it's a positive one, like '86 was a positive journey. Hopefully 2010 is a positive journey ahead of us. And but there was a big change before that was able to start in '86. I don't sit here and think there's got to be a huge change. We've got to work with the players we've got and try and give them some belief and confidence, and hope we can, start by winning a game or two, and then hopefully the confidence runs through the veins and we can go on some sort of run. But let's wait and see.
The players that you have here, you know some of them. Has it been, well, you've been quite a lot of them, has it been difficult therefore, knowing that you left some of them out of the Celtic side, you sold some of them to this current Middlesbrough side? Is it a little bit difficult, a little bit awkward in the reunion, shall we say?
I don't think so. Not from my behalf it isn't. I know the reasons why players left the football club in Scotland, and varying reasons. Some is natural. It's a natural happening because a player wants to play, and if he's not playing, he comes and knocks on the manager's door sometimes and says, "Listen, I need to play. I want to play. I'm a footballer." And if you can facilitate it and it's right and everything fits into place, it's allowed to happen. And others might have been contractual issues of players running out on contract, and there maybe wasn't the finance to do a deal. It's so players leave and you take the money for them that is on offer, and so it was never. In my mind, none of the players that left Glasgow Celtic are here because the manager forced them out the door or pushed them out the door to another club. It's varying reasons, and I've spoken to them all this morning, and they're all seem bright enough and looking forward to the challenge.
Is it a clean slate for everybody at the moment? The club, it's not the biggest squad in the business, but you look at the reserve squad, you look at an academy squad, you're coming into a side which obviously needs to change something. You're third bottom of the table and something has to change. Are you looking right across the board now to see what you can do?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the manager's job to assess everything he's got. I think when I look at the club, the academy particularly seems to work. It's I think Dave Parnaby and Proctor and all the other lads there. There's the likes of Curtis there and Craig, and all working very hard behind the scenes regarding the supporters. It's to produce footballers, and if something's working and doesn't need fixing, leave it alone generally. But I'll assess everything over the next few weeks, months, and assess what I feel needs to happen. And obviously the priority is the first team and trying to get some results on the field that will lift confidence and belief in the team. And we've got to try and start climbing the table. I'm fully aware of the championship that if you can start to put a run together, there's not a lot between points wise between maybe third, fourth, fifth bottom and the playoff positions. And if you can string a consistency together and win some football matches, you can start to jump pretty quickly. And there's more than enough games left for us to try and make an impact this season on the league. But we have to have a starting point, and we need to win a game pretty soon and try and build on that.
I trust you don't have a magic wand tucked in your inside pocket.
Well, I think sometimes everybody thinks there is a magic wand, and I was very conscious of the fact that I was coming back, and some supporters might think that everything's going to change overnight. It's football clubs and football players. They are, they need to be worked with. They need to know that I've got confidence and belief in them, and we've got to find a way of playing that's going to give us a chance to win football games. So you need to do that, work hard on the training ground. I need to work hard and keep the players believing that what we do is right, and together we hopefully can achieve. Together meaning myself, the players, the staff, the supporters, all together we need to try and propel this club back in the right direction.
You mentioned supporters. It's a constant theme throughout our chat here, the supporters of this football club. Without the supporters, the club doesn't exist.
No, and again, if you can go right back to '86, and the supporters, just as much as the players at that time, really rallied. And whilst I don't think we're anywhere near at this moment as dire as straits as we were in '86, I think the supporters, together we need to try and rally the team. And yet I know the economical difficulties in the area and certain closures, and people will find it difficult to find the money. But as the manager of the team, all I ask really is that they can support the team the best way they can, and let's all stick together and try and get us moving in the right direction.
You do know the area, you're from the area, you live and breathe it, your family are still in the area. It needs no introduction to you. You know exactly what the football club means to the area, yet at the same time this area is suffering probably more economically than most in the country. It's a fine balance, but if you can get an attractive side, a side that the fans want to come and watch.
Yeah.
Does one help the other?
I think so, and I've consistently been criticised, I think, for putting the aesthetic side of the game over the substance of winning football matches, which I think is a little bit unfair because, you know, for instance, the West Bromwich Albion team, I managed to gel them both by winning this championship and playing some nice football and scoring over 100 goals in 2 consecutive seasons. So it can be done, and you know, there's teams all over the world that can play nice, attractive possession football, creating goals and creating chances of scoring goals and also winning. So, you know, that's the conundrum for us really. Can we marry the two together? Can we get the supporters off their seats? And yet in this area, I understand, you know, they like to see their teams compete and be physical as well, and so it's about getting that balance, getting that marriage right of making sure all the fans know every player on the field is batting for their team, and hopefully we can manage to get that balance right of playing some nice attacking football but also winning football matches along the way.
It's a great story to have you back here. Do you look at it as added pressure or the opportunity that you've always wanted?
Yeah, for me, it's just some people have said to me, "Well, be careful going back to Middlesbrough. You could spoil something that's pretty good. You know, you're held in high esteem in the North East." And for me, it's a challenge. You know, I'm a football manager. I'm a football guy. I love the game. I work. If I'm not at work, I'm watching football at home. It's in the blood. It's a great challenge for me to try and help. And listen, if it doesn't work for whatever reason, hopefully the people of Teesside will know it's not through a lack of not applying myself to the job and trying my very, very best with this team. That's, you know, whether I'm managing it or supporting it later in life, it'll always be close to my heart. But I have an opportunity, and I aim to try and grasp it, and we'll wait and see. There's no guarantees, as you said. There's no magic wand. You know, just because inverted commas Mog's back doesn't mean that the team is going to start flying up the table. It doesn't mean you can find the spirit of '86. It's, you know, it's a different group of players, a different football has moved on, never mind anything else. You know, football is a different game completely now, in lots and lots of aspects. I'm here to give it my best shot, to work with the players, to try and win games for the supporters, you know, and with their help hopefully we can achieve.
Welcome back.
Cheers, thank you very much. Cheers, God.